Welcome to another episode in the Barbados Accreditation Council's Quality Conversations in Education. I am Cassandra Earle-Hazell, Quality Assurance Officer. Today's program will be focusing on Programme Accreditation. One of the Council's providers, Mrs. Gina Welch, is with me today to share her experience about the process she endured while going through Programme Accreditation with the Council. Mrs. Welch, welcome to the program and thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you very much, Cassandra. Glad to be here.
Wonderful. Has been a journey, hasn't it?
Yeah, quite.
But now you're at the end of that journey with much success.
Yes, or well, at the beginning of a new journey.
Yes, that's right. One journey ended and another one has begun.
Correct.
Wonderful. So, IIB, let's talk about the Insurance Institute of Barbados. It has been around for about 45 years. What can you tell us about the IIB and what it offers to Barbadians?
Well, the IIB started in 1976, and it started because persons who, like CEOs who worked in the industry and would have been educated outside of Barbados in insurance products, felt that, we could have something here that we could offer for persons working in Barbados. So that is pretty much how the IIB started. Some 46 years ago.
Wonderful, and it has stand the test of time.
Yes, as somebody said to us one day, we're the best kept secret.
Well, now the secret is out the bag.
Yeah. Because
with Programme Accreditation, we want everybody to know that you are wrong and you are now accredited.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. So, so we know now about what the IIB does. Can you tell us why the IIB chose to go through the process of Programme Accreditation with the Council?
Well, accreditation offers credibility.
It does.
So when we learned that there was an accreditation council and that was one of the things that was being offered, we decided, yes, you know what, we need to make sure that what we offer has a certain rigor to it and could stand, scrutiny. So that is why we decided to, to go through the accreditation process.
Great decision. What are some of the challenges that the IIB may have encountered while going through the Programme Accreditation process? What are the challenges? What are the benefits?
I think the biggest challenges was the fact that we are a small organization.
Indeed you are.
Because it's not just the Insurance Institute, there's an association. And typically most of the time there's always only 2 staff members. Right. So we have to do, our everyday work, and then we had to work towards accreditation. So having to do research, go back through documentation to find certain information, to write the self-evaluation report, make sure we have all the evidence. Sometimes why you do what you do, but it's not necessarily documented. So then to make sure that we had the documentation together, it was accurate. So that was the biggest struggle, I would say. But the reward was that as we went through the process, it really gave us clarity as to what we do well and what we needed to do well or to do better.
Excellent. Excellent. So with going through all of that documentation, give me an example of some of the things you had to document. Okay, so you have, your handbooks. So your handbooks for your students would have a certain set of information. Right. And then sometimes there are things that you tell them over the phone because, we're Caribbean. So we speak a lot. But then to realize, if a student asked a question, the information wasn't documented for them to actually go and, let's say, read for themselves. Reference later.
Yes, so we had to do a lot of research. There were other universities who helped us a lot in terms of making sure that we had everything that we needed to have.
So you had collaboration
around
the process.
Oh yes, there were a lot of people I had to seek, because as something that we always say here, we are insurance people who educate.
Understood.
We're not educators who do insurance.
Understood.
So there was a lot of learning education language. I'm very proficient with insurance lingo because I teach insurance as well. I've worked in the industry for 13 years before I came here. So I'm very proficient in speaking insurance jargon. The educational jargon was
That was a new learning curve.
Yes.
Right.
So we went through, like, the Accreditation Council offered several seminars and workshops throughout the years on different things like curriculum development and peer review, and we took advantage of just about everything, y'all were throwing our way.
So you never felt like you were alone in the process?
Oh, no. And I could call, ask a question, get help. So there was a very broad but reachable team that we had in place that would help us through, this whole process.
Wonderful. So overcoming those challenges that you had, you began to see some benefits coming forward.
Oh, yes. And I think the thing is, too, is when you talk about accreditation, it excites people.
Nice, that's good to hear.
Yes, it excites people. I was actually doing a little research up to a couple days ago, and there was like a questionnaire, and people were saying, so what would happen if my program loses its accreditation? And so people are, even students themselves who are studying, are very keen to know that their program has the credibility that they can take it then wherever they need to. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So accreditation is a good thing.
Indeed it is. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. Now, it is funny because the IIB experienced their accreditation partly during the process of the COVID pandemic. That must have brought some changes to how you did things. What was the impact of the pandemic on the IIB during the process of accreditation?
Well, truthfully, the process kind of came to a grinding halt because we've always been class-based teaching, but it was so funny that the AGM that year, which was held March 14th, around that time, the guest speakers spoke about being online, and the name of the topic was actually Online or Die. So we had actually been looking at doing online training from the previous year.
Okay.
But it's just then the country shut down the 28th of March, and students actually had exams that following week. So we really had to, so the same two gentlemen that came to speak to us at our AGM were really the catalysts in terms of helping us get our courses online, like within a week.
Wow.
We had everything online. We had a platform, on which to teach everything. So it was not
the delivery mode changed.
Yeah, the delivery mode changed, but we didn't miss a beat. We didn't have to delay classes, nothing.
And now you had new documentation with regard to the online process that you were undergoing.
Yes, so that is actually ongoing. So as this has been 2 years that we would have been doing it, well, nearly 3 now. So you will find that almost every time I go to a board meeting, I have new documentation for them to approve. Because something comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, so this needs to be put into the handbook, or this needs to be, submitted to students immediately so that they know this is what they need to do, things like that. Okay. So it's online is a very fluid
process,
never ending
process.
So, but the good thing with the accreditation is that because of having to go through that process, we are so much more aware of the things that we need to do and how we need to do it in here to make sure that the students themselves don't necessarily even see what's going on in the background or feel the difference of what's going on in the background. So it's been very seamless.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Now, as an individual, as a leader, as the head of an organization, what are some of the benefits that you would experience that you would now use to say to others, this is the thing that you should do? How would you offer encouragement to other providers to approach or to get into the program accreditation process?
I think the main thing that I would say is that if you're interested in improving what you do, which I think everybody should be, I don't even think it should, stop at education. Whether you run an office, a retail store, a supermarket, it doesn't matter. You should always want to do better and be better. And, I think I've said this to a couple of people. I don't even know if I should say it for you to be able to put now out for the whole world to see, but I'm very covertly competitive. So if I see other people doing certain things, I'm like, oh yeah, we could do it too. And very quietly in the background, I will, work along with my board and my team to get things done. So I found accreditation did that. It put me in that frame of mind of what more can we do? What more can we do? Who else can we reach out to? What are other people doing? So I tend to, do a lot of research on the internet as to what is going on with accreditation, not just here, but other places.
Well, that's good, because the whole thing about accreditation is that it is both a process and is a status that you achieve. So once you achieve the status, then you know how to engage in quality enhancement to make sure that you're able to maintain that status and to continually improve, because nothing stays the same forever.
Oh,
so
correct.
You're constantly changing.
Correct. So there are actually quite a few changes already coming. We have some other courses we want to now add, not to the diploma program, but we want to create new programs. Oh yes.
Wonderful.
Accreditation has caused us to even take a look at our continuing professional development program and to update it and upgrade it.
To make sure your staff are top notch.
Yes, staff and then students themselves, that once they've graduated, that they don't just think, okay, so I have my diploma, that's it.
Lifelong learning
That
comes
is
into
correct.
play.
So lifelong learning.
The benefits of accreditation are broad.
Oh yes.
Wonderful.
Very broad.
Wonderful. I'm happy to hear this. Now, we're at the end of the journey. We know what accreditation is. We've seen one of our providers talk about accreditation. Now, I want to wish you all the very best from the Barbados Accreditation Council. We want to wish you much success in your future endeavors. We want to wish you a happy growth, quality process, and to thank you for being an ambassador for quality assurance within the Barbados post-secondary tertiary education environment. Ms. Welch, we thank you.
Thank you too, Cassandra.
For more information about the services of the Barbados Accreditation Council, you can go to our website at www.bac.gov.bb, or you can visit our Instagram or Facebook page, or you can call us at the office at 535-6740. Thanks for watching.